Let's talk about finding your purpose. It's supposed to be this amazing, inspiring journey, right? But for so many of us, if we're being honest, it's secretly become a huge source of stress. So today, we're going to figure out how to get the purpose, but ditch the anxiety that comes with it.
So, just straight up, does the whole search for your life's purpose feel less like some exciting adventure and more like a heavy weight on your shoulders? If you're nodding your head right now, I just want you to know you are so not alone in feeling that way.
And that feeling right there, that's exactly what we're diving into. We're calling it the purpose paradox. We're going to unpack how this thing that's supposed to be so good for us can somehow end up feeling so bad.
And here's the paradox in full swing. I mean, the science is crystal clear. Having a sense of purpose is unbelievably good for you. We're talking a lower risk of mortality, a third fewer sleep problems, and a 24% boost in physical activity. It's literally a key ingredient for a long, healthy, and happy life. No question about it.
But, and this is a massive but, other research shows that up to 91% of people feel something called purpose anxiety. 91%. I mean, that is just a staggering number. It tells us that the search itself has become this huge, widespread problem.
So what exactly is purpose anxiety? Well, it's that feeling. It's the frustration, the stress, sometimes even depression that creeps in when you feel like you're supposed to have this big, grand purpose, but you just can't seem to find it. That's a very real thing for a lot of people.
Which brings us to the absolute core question of this whole thing. How can the very same concept be a proven path to a better life and, at the same time, a source of so much stress and feeling like you're not good enough? Let's break that down.
You know, to really understand why this pressure feels so intense right now, we actually need to take a quick step back in time. This feeling of being adrift, it's not brand new. It's been building for decades, creating what some have called a psychic climate of emptiness.
This timeline really tells the story. It started out kind of quietly. Back in the 50s, psychoanalysts started noticing a new kind of patient, people who didn't have the classic issues but just felt this deep sense of emptiness. Fast forward to the 70s, and studies showed a big jump in teens feeling emotionally empty. By 1999, you have writers describing young people as being stuck in a mysterious inertia without any real drive. And that brings us to today, with these really alarming spikes in teens feeling persistently sad and hopeless. The trend is just undeniable.
So here's the bottom line. The social guardrails are basically gone. Think about it. Those big frameworks that used to give life a clear direction, prescribed social roles, stable career paths, a clear script for how life was supposed to go, they've pretty much faded away. We've been left on our own, forced to build a whole identity from scratch without the traditional guides that used to help.
Okay, but there is a way through all this, and it all starts with one powerful shift in your mindset. The secret isn't to search harder for that one huge, epic purpose. It's to go little, not big.
All right, this slide right here, this is the heart of the solution. Our culture is constantly screaming at us to chase big purpose. That one audacious, world-changing goal. But that path is often totally elusive and, honestly, a recipe for burnout and anxiety. The alternative? It's over on the right, little purpose. This isn't about some massive goal at the end of the road. It's about the process. It's about finding joy and meaning in the small, day-to-day stuff. It isn't rare, it's everywhere, it's accessible to all of us, and it's something you can actually sustain.
As Dr. Jordan Grumet, who's a hospice physician, puts it so perfectly, purpose isn't just about achieving something monumental. It's about finding meaning in the small, everyday moments that light you up. Shifting your focus from the outcome to the process, that changes the entire game.
So, where do we actually find this little purpose? Well, the very first tool in our kit starts with other people. Because let's face it, a huge chunk of our daily meaning comes directly from our connections. So let's look at a simple way to start building them.
The late, great psychologist Christopher Peterson once famously boiled down his entire field of study into just 3 simple words. Other people matter. That's it. It's the absolute foundation of our well-being. And when we feel lost or without purpose, it's often the very first place we need to turn.
So how do we actually do it? Well, psychologist Nick Epley gives us 4 really practical steps. First, be optimistic. We almost always underestimate how much other people actually want to connect with us. Second, practice reciprocity. Super simple things like a smile or a nod to show you're listening make a world of difference. Third, go for frequency, not intensity.
Lots of small positive check-ins are way more powerful than one big, intense talk. And finally, number 4, visualize connection. Consciously think about bringing people closer to you in your mind.
Okay, now for our final tool. This one's about looking inward to find what Dr. Grummet calls your purpose anchor. And we're going to do it by using one of the most powerful emotional signposts we have, regret.
So I want you to ask yourself this really powerful question. It's a true memento mori moment, a reminder that you must die. If you knew for a fact this was your last day on Earth, what would you regret not having the time, the energy, or maybe just the courage to do? Your answer shines a spotlight on what you value most.
And that answer reveals 3 critical truths. First, your regret is your own personal blueprint. It points directly to what matters to you. Second, regret is almost never about not having enough stuff. It's about not becoming the person you hoped to be. And third, and this is probably the most important insight of all, what really haunts us isn't our failures. It's the things we never even tried to do in the first place.
Dr. Grummet, drawing from all his experience with dying patients, leaves us with this final, powerful thought. He says, "I've never heard a dying patient say, 'I regret trying and failing.' More often, they say, 'I regret not trying at all.'" That fear of inaction, that is the ultimate signpost pointing you directly toward what truly matters. And maybe that's the real purpose after all, not to achieve one big thing, but simply to try.